right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. A day before that we find ourselves most times. Ladies and gentlemen, on the evening rush, quite a lot is actually taking place in Nigeria's political landscape. And it is actually quite imperative for us to understand that some of the issues that bedevils this country in some instances, when we talk about it here, we always say, "Oh no, Esther, not too much talk. We do talk, we don't activate it, we don't actionalize it." Well, you would realize that a lot of conversations that we have sets the ball rolling in the polity, and the needful is usually done. In some instances, when we think nothing is being done, it's actually being done. For example, the Badger Gate, and a lot of conversation has evolved from there. Yesterday evening, there was a monitored conversation which I was able to follow through, where the former secretary to the government of the federation, that is Babachir Lawal, eventually disclosed to us exactly the protocol involved, all right, when it comes to how they go about documentation, processing, how individuals at some point or the other try as much as possible to see how they get across to the presidency. But he made some revelations which are very key. And he says that it depends on the executive, that is how the government of the day operates, or the method of the president in charge. Now, it is how the president is or how he runs his government that determines whose role is maintained or whose role is overseen or whose role is being given to someone else. So there are persons who have certain roles and are not given an opportunity to perform their roles exclusively. And there is a difference between how things were done in Buhari's government and how things are done in Tinubu's government. Those kind of salient questions were asked, and Babachir Lawal was able to respond to it because critical questions were meant to be asked. Right now, we heard that there is a manhunt on that young man. We heard yesterday that his father was arrested because they wanted to find out how he communicates with his parents. They collected the phone number, the other phone numbers of the man they had from the parents of the man. So they're talking about conspiracy ongoing and why it is the man that they're launching a manhunt on and why there is no investigation on Badger himself. But there are talks that it's because Badger was the one who informed the police about the agency and how persons are using his name to create an agency, collect money in his name and all of that. That's what Badger is claiming to be. And then obviously people are pinpointing on the response, all right, of this guy, of Bayo Onanuga, because Bayo Onanuga is a presidential spokesperson. So anything Bayo Onanuga supposedly releases is coming from the president. So they were like, that was basically what indicted Gbajabiamila, Bayo Onanuga's immediate response to supposedly dispel what went viral or what people were asking on, which obviously initiated the curiosity of a lot of Nigerians that what could have expedited the response of Bayo Onanuga to respond to this. That's one. And then two, how come all of a sudden, like literally, he's saying opposition should not utilize this and capitalize on it. This is a very grievous offense. Okay, now we're going to look into that this evening. My guest this evening is Barrister Eze Eluche. Barrister Eze Eluche is a political and national social affairs commentator. But first of all, let's look at the fact that the ICPC is accusing El-Rufai of breaching medical visit, and they arrested his personal doctor. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission on Tuesday alleged that the former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai violated the conditions of a court-approved medical visit while in the commission's custody. The commission also announced the arrest of El-Rufai's personal physician, Professor Bello Abubakar, for allegedly making false statements. So in a statement by the spokesperson, the head of media and public communications, Mr. John Ode, the commission said it had facilitated El-Rufai's medical visit and in compliance with a court directive and a statutory obligation to respect the rights and welfare of persons in its custody. The ICPC then disclosed that the Kaduna State High Court had fixed July 6, 7 and 8, 2026 for the accelerated hearing of criminal charges against the former governor, but that he failed to appear on the first day of proceedings. So according to the commission, its prosecution team informed the court that when officers arrived to convey El-Rufai to court, he declined to accompany them, insisting on seeing his personal doctor. The commission said the court subsequently adjourned the matter until July 15, 2026. Now, the prosecution further informed the court that no prior request had been made to the commission for such medical consultation, and that when asked by the commission's medical doctor, the defendant reportedly indicated indicated that he had no immediate medical complaint, but stated that his wife, Aisha El-Rufai, who is also one of his legal counsel, had requested that he see his personal physician, Professor Bello Abubakar. So the big question is, are they saying that it was deliberate, the bail conditions that was set for El-Rufai, it was deliberately meant not to be achieved? Because the conditions given were quite difficult. A civil servant, an amount of money, landed properties. Obviously, we know that it's very much impossible for a civil servant to have all of that. Any civil servant that would have tendered what was required for the bail of El-Rufai would have been investigated, because no civil servant is meant to have such properties or such an amount of money. So it was quite deliberate that the condition given by the court was to ensure that El-Rufai remained in custody and there was no possibility of a bail condition given. Now, El-Rufai had indicated that he was not feeling well and he needed to see his doctor, right? But then what transpired? They're saying that the doctor breached, that El-Rufai, there was no record of such, neither was there prior notice to that, and so they arrested his doctor. Some persons will say that El-Rufai is in serious trouble with the government of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't be surprised with what is actually going on, but a lot of persons are not really showing El-Rufai that pity per se, because of his history actually as the governor of Kaduna State and even as a former FCT minister. El-Rufai had actually stepped on a lot of toes and had enemies in, like, the trail of enemies, along his path. So in this situation, you're not hearing Nigerians advocate as they would love to advocate. I currently have Barrister Eze Eluche joining us via the telephone. Obviously, I would like us to listen to what Babachir El-Rufai said, but let me quickly introduce him. Barrister Eze Eluche, good evening. How are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you for having me.
Barristers, it's been quite a while. I hope the rain did not affect you as well.
It's cool. It's cool. It's the season. So if it's rain, it's rain. It's okay.
All right. Barrister Eze, very quickly, the police is launching a manhunt for this PFIPC DG Adeyemi. In the course of the conversation this evening, so I'm going to play the former SGF's reaction to the role of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and how he was actually meant to be called into this, because he's the one that supposedly is in charge of appointment letters. And in this case, it's like there were oversight functions. What I mean by oversight, he was overreading. He was not allowed to perform his role, like somebody was performing his role. So the big question Nigerians are asking is, why are they launching a manhunt on this man when the case is in court? The man was granted bail by the court. They're launching a manhunt when the man says that he will appear in court on the days he's meant to appear. On several outings the man has had with television stations or radio stations, the man has said that he would not respond to anything, but he's going to tender all evidence in court. So why is there an excessive manhunt on the man? Why did they arrest his father yesterday?
Well, you have to realize that Mr. Disu, the Inspector General of the Nigerian Police Force, was appointed by Mr. Bola Tinubu, who is a major suspect in all these transactions. So the noise made by the police now is not unexpected. Because the reality is this: the entirety of this fraud, of this scam, came all the way from the presidency. And then Nigerians were surprised that people are mentioning the chief of staff, mentioning subordinates to the president. The buck stops on the table of Mr. President. The police is just wasting its time or trying to just play to the gallery by saying they are launching a manhunt. Manhunt for who? For an appointee of government, when those who appointed him are there. All the issues, all the facts they want to know is available in government records. Why are they bothering this man? If the case is already in court, let them wait until the man shows up in court. He's on bail, for goodness sake. So I just believe that the whole issue of the police manhunt is just to play to the gallery, to be as if the police is doing anything. Because the reality is, when this scam started, even not just the police, the EFCC, the ICPC, all the agencies of government are neck deep in this scam. They are deep. So the rules that the police is trying to doing a manhunt for him is just to play to the gallery. Nigerians should see it for what it is. The police is just being used to do as if there's anything. The stench reaches all the way to the very top. This is a government official. The excuse that it's an illegal entity is not true. It's not true, because if it's illegal, that means this entire government is illegal. If it's fraudulent, that means this entire government is fraudulent, because the Prince Adeni went through all the facets of government. All. Is it the Senate, the House Appropriation Committee, the Attorney the General of the Federation, the Chief of Staff? So why are they bothering him? The case is before the court, and let it take its course. The police have absolutely no business telling Nigerians that they're looking for this man. Absolutely none. Thank you.
All right, Barrister, we're getting a report that the Justice Sheikh Ibrahim, who served on the 2023 Presidential Election Tribunal, had a heart attack in Paris. I mean, this story came out yesterday, and we've been waiting to hear from Justice Sheikh Ibrahim's family to affirm to us that indeed he has actually passed on. And this is coming as the Presidential Committee is set to do a 1-year remembrance of the passing away of late President Muhammadu Buhari. So according to Dr. Maxwell, the judge reportedly suffered a sudden heart failure after what was initially described as a minor illness, with the unexpected turn of events coming as a shock. Other reports also claimed he died from a severe head injury, but the exact cause of death has not yet been independently confirmed. So Justice Sheikh Ibrahim was a member of the tribunal that dismissed Peter Obi's petition challenging the outcome of the 2023 presidential election, a ruling that generated widespread public debate. Before now, there was also another report we heard, although the family had said that we should not pay attention to that, that one of the judges who also sat on that panel at the tribunal, which indicated or affirmed the win of the president, went blind. But the thing is, there have been different reaction to this particular story when it came on board. Some persons were saying possibly it is karma. Different narratives came on concerning this. The big question is, some of the judges are actually quite old and anything could have happened. So why are Nigerians very keen as to what happens to those who presided during the tribunal in 2023 that overrode some contestants' petition against the win of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Well, it's rather sad. I mean, we should commiserate with anybody who loses a family member. People die, and most of these judges are already above. Have lived longer than the average lifespan of the Nigerian, which is in the 40s. These judges are more usually in their 60s or beyond. So I do not think that whether they die now or they go blind now or whatever is an issue. And let Nigerians stop thinking in that way. The reality is this: if we feel that the judicial system is wrong or the judges are doing wrong, the reaction should be immediate. Do not wait until when they die of old age or they fall blind and whatever, or they fall sick and all that, and say that is God is rewarding them. No. If you feel that the system is rotten, you react immediately. So if indeed this judge is dead, I commiserate with the family, because it's sad to lose any loved one. To lose the head of the family. I mean, but it should not be related. It should not be said to be because of what they did or the judgments, the judgments they were part of. After all, the current Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kekereekun, was the judge who read the lead judgment that brought Hope Uzodinma as governor of Imo State wrongly. When I say wrongly, because this man was the fourth, and then he without any reason, no rationale. So is it that when Kekereekun now falls sick, we will say it was the cause of the judgment? No. If Nigerians feel anything about the judgment, they should react immediately. And they are really old, and they have lived long enough. If anything happens to the judge, I commiserate with the family, and I hope that they recover. Because the ideal thing is that when these judges do wrong, they should be made to face the consequences. Death or going blind by natural causes is not a consequence. Nigeria should evolve to a state whereby when wrongs are done, the people enjoy or they regret the consequences while they are alive. We should stop being superstitious. When people are living long enough, they are open to fall for this opportunistic infection, whether it's blindness or stroke or whatever. And it's not as a result of whatever they did. when they were younger.
But
That's my
Barrister, you
own
know
life.
that Nigeria's judicial system is facing a staggering crisis of credibility. I mean, public trust has deteriorated to the point where citizens increasingly bypass traditional courts for alternative platforms. The crisis is driven by commodified justice, systemic delays, nepotism, conflicting judgments, as we have seen lately. In fact, ever since this administration commenced, and the centralization of disciplinary powers within the National Judicial Council. There are even accusations on the NJC, on the NBA as well, of aiding all of this and not quickly calling out all of the discrepancies observed within our judicial sector. So, I mean, does it surprise you if Nigerians hear any negative connotation or negative happening to any of the judges whom they feel are enabling the rot in the system?
It does not surprise me, but my take is this. The average lifespan of a Nigerian man is about 42, but for women, it's like 47. So these judges are old enough, most of them are in their 60s. We should stop this equation of ill health with what they did. Nigerians should learn that their destiny is in their own hands. If they feel aggrieved with judgment, judicial pronouncements, or forcing of people as elected leaders by judges, there should be immediate reaction. This whole idea of always saying when they fall sick is because of what they did, it is not true. I mean, we have to rise above that superstition. We have to be more direct, and that is what happens in other countries. In Indonesia, in other countries where people react against bad judicial judgments, they don't claim that those judges were old or they fell sick or that God was punishing them. We should react immediately. Like I keep on saying, I commiserate. If indeed this judge is there, I commiserate with his family. I do not relate with what happened to him as a cause or a consequence of his judicial pronouncement. We should be above superstition, and that is the problem of Nigeria. We always give everything over to God, in our so-called God that will act in our behalf. No, God does not do that. If you feel that something is wrong, you act immediately. And when we begin to do that, then those who are sitting as judges will behave themselves. But as long as we keep on saying God will take care, He will take care, then they will live up to 80 years. Then when an 80-year-old man has stroke or goes blind, he says he's getting the judgment for what he did 20, 30 years ago. That is not true. I'm sorry for that. Thank you.
All right, let's look at the political interference being done by the courts, Barrister. For example, the situation with this Prince Adeyemi and Gbajabiamila, the chief of staff to the president. There are talks that yes, this case is in court, but there are fears that it may favor the chief of staff against this man. Now, there are pictures actually of this man with the vice president Kashim Shettima. There are pictures of this man with Benjamin Kalu, the House of Rep Speaker. There are pictures of this man with top senators, all right, within that presidential council. This man has met with them. He has held diplomatic meetings. He has invited a lot of them into global conferences where they discuss on how to get foreign and investment opportunities, with Nigeria, coupled with the salaries, coupled with staff in that agency. Now, the big question is this. If already Nigerians are deducing that the courts will be used to mutilate the process and do what due diligence should be followed, then again, why do you think that there will not be questions specifically with judgments that come from the court, especially now that the 2027 election approaches? Nigerians are literally afraid that the courts may actually hoodwink the outcome of the elections.
Thank you very much. My dear, when we have a president who had previously paid or forfeited $460,000 to the U.S. government for trafficking-related offenses, and he appoints a Senator Gbajabiamila, who was disbarred, that's sacked from practicing law in the state of Georgia for fraud-related offenses. The reality is we have allowed ourselves to be ruled by characters who don't need to rule over us. So all these things are part of what we should expect from the regime headed by these characters. I don't know when Nigerians are surprised at what is going on. And I assure Nigerians that this issue of this Prince Adeyemi is just a tip of the iceberg. That is why a government that claims that all its agencies, is it the immigration, is it the customs, everybody is bringing in more funds than was projected. Yet the government is borrowing more and more millions from foreign quarters. What does that tell you? It tells you that Nigeria is a capital state. That whatever we expect, these characters, this is just the beginning. We thank God for this revelation. For those who are thinking that something would be something proper or something right will come from this Bola Tinubu regime, it has not dawned on them that there is a systemic fraud, systemic corruption, of which virtually every arm of the government is involved in it. Is it the police? Is it the EFCC? Is it the judiciary? Is it the National Assembly? They are all implicated in this. So why are we surprised? Like they say, the fish rots from the head. The reality is that we have a system, we have what is called a kakistocracy, the government of our worst. Nigerians should realize this and stop being surprised. I don't know why the people are saying that they're surprised with what is happening. I only pray for this Prince Adeyemi because he will most likely not have his day in court. I wouldn't be surprised if the Funshaw Williams treatment is visited upon him. I wouldn't be surprised if we are told tomorrow that he was trying to cross the road and a car crushed over him. Or that maybe a snake beat him, like snake swallows money in this country. Because the reality is this, he has not played along. He has tried to expose a system that is very, very corrupt. This one would be said from the onset. And Nigerians should not be surprised because there are worse issues than this Prince Adeyemi's case. Even in the budget allocation, it's only got 1.3 billion.
Yes.
My dear, that is not the issue. There are agencies that have gotten 5, 10, 20 billion that are just looting pipes to loot funds from the system. That's what we should be concerned about. And not issues like the police on a manhunt. Manhunt for who?
Manhunt for the man.
Yes, the people you should be looking for are already, you know where they are. They're in the State House, they're in the chief of the presidency, they're in National Rock, they're in the central bank that approved for an account to be opened for this agency. I mean, you don't need to do a manhunt when you have the criminals already at your beck and call. But what is the issue? The issue is that every part of the government of Nigeria that should be charged with checkmating this rascality in governance are people who are appointed by Bola Tinubu. And he made sure he put in his cohorts at every sphere. Now the issue is, how do we as Nigerians losing ourselves from this bondage? Because we must losing ourselves to be able to see the light of day. Is it the IE of police? Is it the chairman of the EFCC? Is it the director of the DSA? Is it the chief justice of Nigeria? These are all appointees of the Bola Tinubu who are supposed to checkmate rascality in governance. And they cannot. Because you know who appointed them? It's sad, man. It's really, really sad. But I hope Nigerians understand this and that there must be an end to this for us to be able to live, to survive the next couple of months. Thank you very much.
All right, Barrister, I want us to quickly take a listen to this. The reason is that there are roles for each person appointed in the presidency. In all of this, the core responsibility, which is like the engine room that runs the presidency, is the secretary to the government of the federation. When it comes to appointments, when it comes to letters written, it comes from the office of the government, of the secretary to the government of the federation. He writes almost all the itinerary required of every staff. Every staff in the presidency gets their letters from the SGF before it's not given to the president to either minute on it or not minute on it or question it, but either ways from the SGF's office to the presidency. In this entire saga, that man's name is off it. We're talking about George Akume. His name is not there. He didn't quickly respond to it. You would have thought that he would have been the one to respond to this, but instead it's the president chief of staff that did. And then the next person who defended was Mr. Bayo Onanuga, the spokesperson to the president. So the hierarchy in government, a lot of protocols were jumped over. So let's listen to a former secretary to the government of the federation giving us details of how this thing works, or the protocols involved, and how the setting of this administration is. Just very briefly, sir.
An executive presidential system of government where whether or not you are allowed to do your duties depends on who occupies the topmost position. Some SGFs are just there to occupy the position while the authority is removed from them and given to some personal crony of a president. If the president's method is like that, fine. But, in our own case, the president allowed me to do my job completely. Apart from coordinating the activities of government, part of it is appointments. The final approval lies with the president, but the appointment recommendations normally come through the office of the SGF, who puts up a memo to the president, and when the president approves, he sends this memo back to the SGF to issue appointment letters or to look for an alternative. But there are some processes where somebody else, like let's say somebody, the president's former classmate in primary school, will come into the house and say, Muhammadu, that boy, that young chap that was born while in Abaleki barracks, he's now a grown-up man and he wants a job. Please, could you help get him a job? In that case, it doesn't come through the SGF. The president will just minute to the SGF, please appoint. If there's a specific appointment position, he'll say appoint as this and this, or he'll just say look for an appointment. In that case, the SGF will search for a vacancy, write a memo to the president, he will approve. In either case, the SGF is in the middle. He issues the appointment letters.
Right. So the SGF's office is often described as the engine room of the government.
Yes.
Is it realistic that correspondence from an agency that allegedly did not legally exist could be received, processed, and forwarded? Apologies for that. Is it possible that it could be received, processed, and forwarded without somebody asking in the SGF's office exactly who are these people?
No, if it's done that way, it means there's a dereliction of duty on the side of the SGF. If it were me, what I would do with that correspondence is to minute it down to one of the permanent secretaries, generally the permanent secretary, GSO, General Services Office, to treat. And what he treats is, in treating that, he locates in our own time, he will locate the file of the agency, and he will go through the processes of appointment. The act setting of that agency would sometimes say the position has to be advertised and interviewed and shortlisted, names sent to the president for approval. Some just spread and just approves. So the SGF will go through the file, and in that process of due diligence, we'll be able to find out whether such organization exists, because then there will be no record for it in the SGF's office, so he will raise a red flag on it.
Right.
What we used to do is, if there's a new agency that either the president or one minister proposes to handle some specific assignments or duties, he will first of all raise a memo to the president, who will approve that such be created. And then a memo will be sent to the Federal Executive Council on that particular agency, and we will debate it. Now, sometimes it will require some legislation to give that agency legal mandate to operate, some to just be within the presidential approval, and then the agency is created. Because really, you cannot appropriate funds to an agency that has not been legislated for. I mean, there has to be a legal basis for its existence. But first of all, it is the executive that raises such agency, makes the proposal, debates it, and the Attorney General of the Federation will normally put an opinion on it, and then if the Federal Executive Council approves, it's sent to the legislature for legal establishment.
So, Barrister Eze Uche, I had to call it short because it's still quite lengthy. He said quite a lot. Did you hear all the processes it's involved for all of the agencies that are supposedly under the Federal Executive Council, and the fact that for any of the agencies established, it actually has the signature of the president assented to it? Does this not indict everyone? The SGF, the president, the chief of staff, the spokesperson? Does this not indict everyone, including the Senate, the legislators? You heard all the processes involved to establish an agency, monies allocated, even the Minister of Justice.
Thank you very much. I think you just hit the nail on the head. That is why some of us believe that this so-called manhunt for the Prince Adeyemi is a waste of time. It's a ruse. The reality, and I've said it from the onset, rather than waste time to look for people who have escaped or whatever, the culprits are still in the offices. They are still being moved around Abuja with sirens and police protection. From what the former Secretary of the Federal Government has said, it's clear that everything is a systemic fraud. It's not an individual. You cannot just mention one or, like I saw from my article where they were mentioning individual. You don't mention one or two names who signed letters in the SGF's office or in the Auditor General's office. This is a systemic fraud that tells you that the Nigerian government under Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a crime scene. It's a living crime scene, an active crime scene, where all the elements are incorporated and they're working seamlessly. What Nigerians should be thankful for is that somehow the sharing formula has exposed the rot. Because from Prince Adeyemi, there was an issue of where to give 40-something% of the budgeted amount of the agency to a particular person. That is what made these things all available. The reality is that all the system is geared towards for the Nigerian state. Governance, the government of Nigeria under Bola Tinubu has become a siphon, a conduit to rob Nigerians. And all efforts should be made to ensure that this does not continue. That's why mentioning individuals, is it the Appropriation Committee of the Senate or the House? Is it the Central Bank of Nigeria that opened an account for them? Is it the General that approved 300 staff members for these characters, for this crime? Or is it the Onanuga that kept on talking a lot of nonsense, trying to implicate the man, telling us about the Sunday school or the university education of this? That is not the issue. The issue is that there is a living fraud going on in government, that the Nigerian government has become a laughing stock globally. And that is traceable to the root cause, to the presidency, the president, because he has tried to remain silent as if he doesn't concede. That is not true. Everything, Mr.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Continue, please.
Yes. All this, the box stops on the table of Mr. Bola Tinubu. He cannot feign ignorance. But sadly for Nigeria, we have a rubber-stamped National Assembly by Bradley Abbas heading the House and Godswill Akpabio heading the Senate. Characters who cannot even question anything in government. I mean, there's no vote because they are all part of this scam. And I just must realize this. So all this collector that's looking at these issues from one angle, that is the central bank that approves it. No. Everything is in one form. And as the Secretary of the Former Secretary of the Government has said, the person responsible is Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The call for resignation should not be of Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila because he's acting based on instructions by Bola Tinubu, for goodness sake. The person that should be held accountable for all this is Mr. Tinubu. And shamelessly, this same character is taking off back to rule Nigeria again. What is wrong with this country? And some people are jumping up and saying that supporting him, supporting crime, supporting falsehood, supporting illegality, and we want to be respected or taken serious by other countries. It's a real shame. And like I said, like I keep on saying, and you have noticed that so far, Mr. Olukayode of the EFCC has kept quiet.
Yes.
As if it doesn't bother him. The head of the DSS has kept quiet. As if it doesn't bother him. But these are elements, these are part of the same scam. I mean, the EFCC guy would have been jumping up and down to go and harass students in university.
I mean, they said that Adeyemi took pictures with Mr. Oluyede, the EFCC chairman. He took pictures with him as well. That's what is surprising, how they will say this is a fake agency, that everyone was supposedly aligned with it.
I would rather say Nigerians should pray for this Prince Adeyemi because I believe that they won't allow him to leave. Sadly, I somehow believe they won't, because he has exposed their wrath. And when in a mafia-like environment, you don't survive that environment. So when the police say they are going to look for him and all that stuff, you just know that they want to. I mean, most likely he will be eliminated. But what I suspect will happen very soon is in a not too long time, there will be a mega kidnap or abduction of school children. Or there will be something that they will do just to divert
Nigerians' attention
from the reality. Yes. But we must not allow this to happen, because the kidnapping of school children is one of their stock in trade. And this has happened from the Chibok to the one in Katsina. There will be something that will be done to shake the polity. And they don't give a damn about the students who are involved on life's law, as long as they cover their ass. And we should tell them that we have seen through this scam, and this must not be allowed. At this stage now, look, even the INEC chairman has got a part of this scam, because all these agencies are correlated. They went through the system, they were approved. He even wrote, this same Adeyemi invites the diplomatic community, and they attend. Perhaps the Foreign Affairs Ministry was not even part of this scam. That's why they had to start writing letters to ask, who is this person that is now inviting ambassadors? But the reality is this. This is a government rooted in fraud. This is a government that incidents in fraud. And there's nothing that they can do about it. They can't even help themselves. And maybe the police, when they get this man, I'm sure they will knock him off. Thank you very much.
Well, Barrister, it's quite unfortunate what we're beginning to, or what we're experiencing. I don't know how to define the kind of democracy that will operate here. I really don't know how to define it, Barrister. But
what democracy? Please don't insult the word democracy by saying what we have in Nigeria is democracy. We don't have a democracy in Nigeria. We are pretending to have a democracy. The votes don't count. The people who should not even contest elections are contesting and winning. Mr. Fabio, Senate President, has no business being in the Senate. I mean, so what are we talking about democracy? If the world thinks are fooling themselves, we shouldn't fool ourselves in this country. Look at what happened in the last election. Last Ekiti election. Is that a democracy? What we have is judocracy. When the courts decide who will rule over us, that was how this same Supreme Court brought our first 10 Bola Tinubu as our president. Did he win elections? Was he supposed to even contest elections based on his antecedents? So let us not abuse the word democracy by referring to Nigeria. We don't run a democracy. Thank you very much.
Wow. Barrister, if we don't run a democracy, would we be having this conversation? Would we be talking like this?
No, yes, we do. Even in the worst of the dictators, they do allow some elements. But we know that it's only a matter of time before they begin to clamp down on people who express their views. Because they are just pretending to be like democracies to deceive the world. But in a not too long time, this government will become very draconian, and they will do what they want to do.
In other words, you're saying if they happen to return in the second, in the next electoral cycle, that they would clamp down on expressions, or they'll be worse in terms of expressions?
With what President Adeyemi is exposing them for now, they may not even wait for that long. They will start earlier. They will start earlier, and like all draconian regimes, they will become more brutal. We know that. But the reality is why people across are still talking is this. Whether you talk or you don't talk, we are all bound to die one day. But we have to say the truth, and the truth must be said. This is not a democracy. Thank you very much.
Well, Barrister Eze Eluche, we'll take a very short break, Barrister, a very short break, and then we'll continue with El Rufai, who obviously his personal doctor, was arrested. In fact, the ICPC is accusing El Rufai of breaching medical visits, and so because of that, they arrested his doctor. After this break, I'll definitely let you know the reason why, and then the bail conditions, the stringent bail conditions that were set for El Rufai. Does it mean that the court was used by the executive or political elements to ensure that El Rufai wasn't granted bail, and now his doctor is also being arrested as well? So please kindly stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. The Evening Rush continues. We'll be right back.
Give Malavia a double punch. Destiny and Luminate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Janet Pharmaceuticals Limited.
If symptoms persist after 3 days, please see your doctor. Read the leaflet inside.
Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Now you have a voice.
Land ownership will never go out of style because it is a lifestyle. But you see, the land will not wait for you. The prices too won't wait for you. The smart youths who act now are the rich who eat later. With as low as 4.5 million naira, you can own a property in your name in FO6 Kubwa, Abuja. You can pay in installments to own this property the same way you can pay in installments to own your dream phone. You are not too young to own a property because with Asogba Homes, everyone deserves a home. For more inquiries, call 091 36 000898 or 091 36 000896.
You are listening
to your number one station,
the Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Do not touch that dial.
House dey dark and NEPA bill dey choke. E dey worry you as e dey affect your business. So no chon don come. Imagine say you wake up for morning, light no shake, fridge don block, business no get wahala, everything dey okay. No be dream o. With Yohaco, na you dey control your light. Yohaco dey sell gas cooker, freezer, fridge, and dem go furnish you with modern kitchen o. Whether na inverter, batteries, panels, smart street lights, be na solar AC system wey you wan use for house, business, abi for industrial work, Yohaco stand chim to help you. Bye to NEPA bill o. No wait till transformer go spoil again o. Oh yeah, run call Yohaco for 070-121-30260 or 080-324-82573, or you fit to call 080-669-60066. For Lagos, we there for shop F1179 Industrial Section, or Joe Alaba International Market, or shop G6 Electronic Section, Alaba International Market, Headline, Ute Ubochi Plaza, Abuja office na Corporate 13, Dubai International Market, back of Games Village, Karo District for Abuja. For Port Harcourt, we there for number 51, Oporo Road, Eziowa Elite Trade Center. For River State, Yohaco. Website na www.yohacoproducts.com. Online store na www.yohacostore.com. Yohaco, from sun to earth, we dey make your mind dey coole.
To the city's #1 super dial. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, Lagos.
My people, why you dey suffer for darkness when better solution dey? Fuel don cost, generator noise too much, but now steady light don easy. Na why Casco Electronic Company Limited dey here for you. We dey import and supply original solar product where you fit trust. Powerful inverters, dry cell batteries, tubular and lithium batteries, charge controllers, solar panels, solar fridge, solar pumping machines, solar AC, solar lights, and many more. Whether na for your house or abi na for your office or na for your church, your shop or your business, Casco get quality solar solution wey go save your money and give you constant power supply. No fake product, no disappointment. Na original quality at affordable prices. Run come, make you visit our head office at FL 505 beside Union Bank, Alaba International Market, Ojo, Lagos, and other offices all over Nigeria. Make you call us for the phone number 0806 198 9695 or 0902 368 4970. Casco Electronic Company Limited, powering your life with reliable solar energy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is still the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. And I still have Barrister Eze Eluche with us via the telephone. Barrister Eze, are you still with us?
Oh, certainly, yes.
Thank you so much, Barrister. God bless you for your patience. You know, that the ads are needed That's a source of revenue for us here. All right, Barrister, very, very quickly. You know, I talked about El Rufai, where the ICPC is accusing El Rufai of breaching medical visit and arresting his personal doctor. So obviously, they're saying that El Rufai violated the conditions of a court-approved medical visit while in the commission's custody. They also announced the arrest of El Rufai's personal physician, Professor Bello Abubakar, for allegedly making false statements. So in a statement by the spokesperson of the head of media and public communications, Mr. John Ode, the ICPC, the commission, is saying that it had facilitated El Rufai's medical visit in compliance with a court directive and a statutory obligation to respect the rights and welfare of persons in the custody. They disclosed that the Kaduna State High Court fixed July 6, 7, and 8, 2026 for the accelerated hearing of criminal charges against the former governor, but that he failed to appear on the first day of the proceedings. The prosecution team informed the court that when officers arrived to convey El Rufai to court, he declined to accompany them, insisting on seeing his personal doctor. So they're now saying that, okay, in that regard, why are you seeing your personal doctor? Because they had not informed the court and there was no prior requests that had been made to the commission for such a medical consultation, and that when asked by the commission's medical doctor, El Rufai, who is the defendant, reportedly indicated that he had no immediate medical complaints, but stated that his wife, Aisha El Rufai, who is also one of his legal counsel, had requested that he see his personal physician, Professor Bello Abubakar. Then the commission said the court subsequently adjourned the matter. So in this particular case, how is it El Rufai's fault for not appearing in court? And secondly, Barrister, can you explain the previous bail condition that was given to El Rufai by the court when they knew that no civil servant could actually acquire or have any of the recommendations required to facilitate El Rufai's bail condition?
Thank you very much. The attendance of an accused person or a defendant is not compulsory for the continuing of his trial. If for whatever reason he may not be able to attend, nothing stops the court from moving on and continuing with the prosecution. So the whole idea is that this is not a prosecution. This is a persecution. PER, persecution.
Persecution?
Yes.
The ICPC is claiming that they later saw a post on El Rufai's Facebook page, photographs of El Rufai meeting with political associates like Isa Ashiru Kudan, showing the former governor with several visitors, including Professor Abubakar, during the period designated for the medical consultation. And that was why they arrested the doctor for breach.
Good. I mean, you now ask yourself, who gave the ICPC power to arrest? I mean, over the bail condition. Did the court order the arrest of the doctor? So in haste to persecute a man, these characters do all sorts. They are becoming desperate, and I assure you, they will get more desperate with time. They are making more and more errors. What is wrong with the man who you are persecuting to have visitors? Is he in solitary confinement? Is he not being charged for offenses that you are dealing with in open court? So I mean that's all the prerequisites of a persecution is self-evident in this case. I'm not trying to stand for El Rufai's case because I'm not one of his attorneys, but the reality is this: he is simply being persecuted for his stance, for his position against the Tinubu regime, and the ICPC is simply being used as a conduit for that. Perhaps after this my comment now, they will now say, okay, they want to come and arrest Ezeluche for his comment, but that is not the issue. I mean, they will need to build enough prison for all Nigerians. Because the way this government is going, Nigeria is already one huge prison, which, I mean, the whole 120 million prisoners under the guise of this Mr. Tinubu's regime. And we have to put a stop to this. And it's so sad that the man whom Mr. Bola Tinubu relied upon so much when he's coming in, has now turned on them. And I hope this will be a lesson to all these politicians that, yes, you think you will go along, you think you will eat along with the system. But when they find you when they can dispense with you, they will do that without stress. And I hope that this will not engender Nigerians to ensure that when we see the wrongs, we keep on saying that this is wrong and say without any qualms. And nothing will happen. Because whatever this Mr. Bola Tinubu has around him, there can be more than maybe 200,000-300,000. against 220 million Nigerians? They can't go that far. That's the reality. Thank you.
Paris, I remember before we got into the situation of El Rufai and Prince Adeyemi, when we talked about the judge that sat on the tribunal in 2023 who supposedly or allegedly passed due to heart failure. And I talked about how Nigerians don't trust the judicial system and the different court judgments given that doesn't seem to be logical. They're actually quite ambiguous in some instances, and political interference in some of the court judgments, which are obviously influenced by top politicians. Now, the bail conditions that were set or given to El Rufai to enable his release was a 100 million naira bail bond, all right, and that the person who would be able to ensure that 100 million naira bail bond must be a federal civil servant of grade level 17 or higher, who must provide salary statements, an affidavit of means, a recent passport photograph, and a verification letter from their immediate department. Also, a letter of attestation from the chairman of the Kaduna State Traditional Council. All valid international passports must be deposited with the court and must report to the DSS headquarters on the last Friday of every month by 10 a.m. Barrister, this is a bail condition given by the court to El Rufai. What civil servant of grade 11 or above can afford or have 100 million naira in their account? That's one. Two, what federal civil servant of that level that they disclosed can be able to acquire such an amount of money? And if there was a civil servant that could actually provide what was required, shouldn't that federal civil servant be arrested? So if the court did not want to give El Rufai any bail, why bring up something they knew was impossible to meet?
That is why clearly this is a persecution. The so-called bail conditions amount to not giving bail for a bailable offense. And then what I would have expected these lawyers of this El Rufai to do was to escalate the issue, appeal against it.
They did.
Maybe the court. Yes. I mean, this is not a bail. This is not bail. This is not giving bail, basically. Because if any civil servant who meets the criteria set by this judge should be in prison. And that means that none of them will, though they have it, because most of them are the ones who are paying all these billions, but they will not show up and say they want to stand bail. And like one other thing that was in that condition was that the head of the unit, who is most likely a political appointee of the presidency, should sign on. Then how will such a person sign on? So the reality is this: Mr. El Rufai was denied bail for a bailable offense, and his lawyers should have escalated it even to the international community. Because it's high time the world begins to know that what we have in Nigeria is not a democracy. I mean, what we have is a kleptocracy. A government of our worst elements ruling over us, messing up a very dynamic and brilliant country. We have to put a stop to it. I mean, there is no. It's sad that it's happened, but we only expect that more of this will happen, because this government of Mr. Bola Tinubu will get more desperate. They will want to find more ways to make sure that they stay in power, even when the people have rejected them and the elements have rejected them. But Nigerians must remain steadfast and ensure that we don't continue our suffering for longer than necessary. Thank you.
Well, the president has eventually ordered the ICPC to investigate the PFIPC, and they're demanding a report in 30 days. This has to do with Adeniyi. This was obviously disclosed via the presidential spokesperson, Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga. So doesn't this contradict the earlier statement written by Bayo Onanuga, where he said that everything was fake? What happened was an indictment, and that politicians should not look into this. Bayo Onanuga quickly released that statement. Now, the same Bayo Onanuga is releasing an information from the presidency directing the ICPC to investigate that agency. So, how do we believe any press statements or any reaction or information that comes out from Bayo Onanuga? Is it possible to conclude that the initial release from Bayo Onanuga was not from the presidency? It was Bayo Onanuga trying to cover up for his friend, Mr. Gbajabiamila?
Look, let us stop calling all these mean minors, whether Bayo Onanuga, Gbajabiamila, or the central bank, the Senate president. The buck stops on Mr. President's table. Mr. Bola.
No, but we know. The thing is, Barrister Eze, yes. There is a problem, and it's not looking well. There is a system to doing things. It's like the system is being corroded, and it's too much. When something becomes too much, no matter how laid back Nigerians are, it's disturbing of the process. It's really disturbing, Barrister. Something as egregious as this came out, and instead of the presidency to have kept quiet and notified the presidency, and maybe the initial statement is what is being released today. But a Mr. Bayo Onanuga, who knows that any statement that he writes out obviously translates to coming from the president, released a statement and saying that the stories should be dispelled and that everything is still in court. You are now releasing after almost a week because people were asking questions and interrogating what is going on, that the presidency is saying it should be investigated by the ICPC within 30 days. So who ordered the initial response of Mr. Bayo Onanuga?
My dear, every day, there are 2 key people that Mr. President Bola Tinubu meets with every day of the year. One is his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, and second is Bayo Onanuga. Every day. So what they say, what they do is exactly what Mr. President has ordered. So please, stop calling these minors, because somebody elected them. Mr. Bayo Onanuga does not owe you a dime. Femi Gbajabiamila does not owe Nigerians a dime. The person who claims we elected him is Mr. Bola Tinubu. And that is why every blame should be directed at him. Because even if he sacks Gbajabiamila tomorrow, even if he sacks Onanuga tomorrow, that does not address the systemic fraud which has been exposed. The buck stops on Mr. Tinubu's table. The person that should be resigning is Tinubu, not all these rascals, not all these police. Because they can always talk whatever, like, okay, now he has changed his stance. So should we not forget what he said before? No. The reality is this. Every day, these characters, not even the minister, not even the CBN governor, the 2 people who meet Mr. President every day in any pretense at democracy is the chief of staff and his special press assistant. So they relate what Mr. Tinubu says. And all these gymnastics, all these grammatical blunders or changes they are making is of no essence. Now, the presidency has realized that Nigerians are no longer believing in what he's talking about. Nigerians are seeing through this scam. So they will keep on prevaricating and changing stories, but we should remain steadfast. The reality is this. A fraud has been exposed that cut across all segments of the government, from the presidency to the National Assembly to the law enforcement agencies to even the budgetary allocations, and that means everything is networked in the office of Mr. Bola Tinubu. So please do not blame. I mean, this man gets his salary, he gets maybe 1 or 2 pecks. I mean, I'm talking about Onanuga. And likewise, Gbajabiamila, he gets 1 or 2 extra cars, maybe buys 1 or 2 more houses in the UK, whatever. My dear, Nigerians realize that the mastermind of all this, the person who is in charge, who is responsible, who takes care, who gives orders to even the IG of police, the director of DSS, to all these agencies, it's only one person. That is Mr. Bola Tinubu. That is the person who should be focused on. That is the person who should be resigning based on this mega fraud and no other person. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow Onanuga will start working for the next president and he begins to talk damaging things about the new president. We should learn how to place our blames. The blame relies only on one person, and that is the person of Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you very much.
Barrister Eze Oluche, finally, before I let you go, let's look at what's going the xenophobic attack in South Africa. Today, Senator Ningi was angry at his colleagues and said that the only thing they know how to do is just talk and no action. Now, we know that some Nigerians were murdered, due to the xenophobic attacks and the call that Nigerians should leave or their foreigners should leave the country. The South African government were asked to compensate for a lot of properties that had been left behind by Nigerians and investment actually left behind by Nigerians. One of the ministers of South Africa came out to say that everything belongs to them and that anything they do the building, the goods, whatever it is they have belongs to, you know, South Africans. That what they're more interested is for Nigerians to show them their drug den, which was actually quite derogatory of the remark from the minister. And she actually reiterated that she said what she said. Now, Barrister, here is the thing. South Africa speaking to the Nigerian government in such a manner, it got so bad that the South African people were calling and abusing the president. They called him a drug lord, they called him a criminal, and they're saying that's why the Nigerian people are refusing to leave their country, because of the criminal system that we operate. And she verbally made that statement as well on a national podium. Okay, now the House of Assembly and the Senate had really not given a thought to what was going on in South Africa, even talking about having to close down MTN and other companies owned by South Africa in Nigeria. But since then, we did not hear the Senate make any form of discussion concerning it up until today. Senator Ningi was angry and berated his colleagues that all they do is talk and there is no action whatsoever from the Senate. What's your reaction to this?
Thank you very much. God bless Senator Ningi for his outspokenness. Now, what do you expect from a Gospel Akpabio who has no business being in the Senate, talk less of being the Speaker, the President of the Senate? Because he shouldn't be there in the first place. He knows he has no business in it. Now, one would have expected in all this that the South African High Commissioner in Nigeria would have been summoned to the Foreign Affairs Ministry and even expelled to ensure that Nigerians are safe over there. But no, this is a totally detached government. They're not even bothered because they know the Bola Tinubu regime knows he owes Nigerians nothing. He knows he did not become a president by the virtue of Nigerians' vote. So he does not give a damn what happens to Nigeria. And he doesn't give a damn the way he's looked upon by the international community. Because he thinks that what his antecedent is hidden. But it's not. The world is aware that this man, Bola Tinubu, paid or forfeited $460,000 for drug trafficking and money laundering related offenses to the U.S. government. So what do you expect him to do? The sad thing is that we are struggling with these characters as our rulers. And Nigerians must come together and do whatever is needful to ensure that this nonsense does not continue for a day longer. Because otherwise, every Nigerian anywhere is at risk. Today is Nigeria in South Africa. Tomorrow, there will be Nigerians elsewhere. We have no government that will go and protect our people because they know the characters of those who are ruling us. They know that the people who are ruling us are below par. They know that our president has his own defects. They know his chief of staff has his own defects. They know that before they became Senate president and all that stuff, people like Akpabio were facing serious corruption charges that were dropped because they were members of the APC. So you don't blame them when they treat Nigerians as criminals. You don't blame even in Ghana, Togo, other countries where Nigerians have diminished existence. And that is because of the characters who we have allowed to rule over us. So I mean, for us to move ahead, we have to decide as a country that we cannot tolerate these characters in government. Yes, they may think they have all the forces, but what I want Nigerians to realize is this. Mr. President might have appointed the IG of police, the chief of army staff, but he has not appointed all the policemen. He has not appointed all the soldiers, and they're also Nigerians and they're passing through Spain. So Nigerians must really come together and put a stop to this nonsense that has diminished us, belittled, and are making Nigerians at risk. Other countries are reacting. In Mozambique, there's a video going viral where South Africans have been pursued from Mozambique.
Yes.
Why are they allowed to continue to mess up in Nigeria? Because we don't have a government. Or we have a government that does not feel that they owe Nigerians anything. And there must be a stop to all this noise. Tomorrow, the Mr. President will come out and he has kept quiet. Like I keep on telling Nigerians, what I know will happen is that in a very short while, in the next 1 week or thereabouts, there will be a mega crisis. There will be a mega abduction of children in schools that they will try to shift attention. But Nigerians must hold these characters responsible because they are part of the problem. They are the problem itself. And we cannot continue this way. Thank you very much.
Barrister, is quite unfortunate. We even heard that Ramaphosa was supposed to meet with the Ghanaian president. That was postponed because of the attacks. All right. I mean, the Ghanaian president refused to meet, Cyril Ramaphosa. Also, we heard Adams Oshomole calling for the seizure of the properties of South Africans here in Nigeria because of what is currently going on in South Africa. But sometimes statements are made, but there is no actionable implementation to that, which is what Senator Ningi was saying, that all we do is talk and talk, but the House does not perform anything, no action. And there are calls to see Nigeria's over-reliance on some of these foreign company owners, because in instances like this, you look at the fallout and how it will affect Nigeria's telecommunication sector, being the fact that we rely on MTN for our communication. We have not tried to see how we could expand more by owning our telecommunication companies operated by Nigerians themselves to avoid privileges like this. Barrister, very quickly, the Nigerian Democratic Congress is facing a fresh internal crisis because senior party officials in the Northwest reportedly are preparing to resign over disagreements surrounding the allocation of tickets for the 2027 general elections. The dispute is set to center on the party's vice presidential candidate, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and allegations by some party officials that he has exerted excessive influence over the selection of candidates, particularly in Kano State, his home state. Now, basically, from the People's Gazette, you know, they're an investigative newspaper or online platform. Members of the NDC Executive Committee in the Northwest are considering leaving the party after months of efforts to reconcile competing political blocs allegedly failed. The party's presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, and the national chairman, Sireka Dixon, have reportedly been briefed on the development. Sources within the party claim that the planned resignations could begin as early as this week. So among those reportedly considering their political future are the NDC Northwest Vice Chairman, Mohammed Rabiu Serina, and the Kano State Chairman, Husseini Issa Mariga. The aggrieved party officials reportedly accused Kwankwaso of refusing to allow other executives to recommend aspirants for elected positions ahead of the 2027 elections. Right now, Mr. Peter Obi is a closed-door meeting. He has been called to intervene in this matter. I think all of them have their own jurisdiction where they preside over issues. But right now, the presidential candidate of the NDC has been called in to resolve the Kano crisis. This is not the only crisis that are being talked about. Other executives made complaints about these kind of things. Even in the just concluded primaries, there are complaints, although they said a reconciliatory committee has been set up. If this is going on now and they already have a court case appealing to no longer deregister their party or whatever, how do you think this affects the political influence or the upcoming elections for the NDC and the presidential candidate? Barrister Ezza, are you still with us? Okay, I think we've lost connection with Barrister Ezza Eluji, so I'll try to contact him again to respond to that. Oh, okay, he's calling back. Barrister Ezza?
Yes, I had your question.
Yeah, did you hear it?
Yeah, I did. I heard everything.
Okay.
Before I respond to the NDC issue, let me make one or two closing comments on the South African issue.
Okay.
For every Nigerian who is in South Africa, I will urge them to find their way out of that murderous country for now. I mean, they should not rely on the embassy or whatsoever. And this advice is based on precedent. During the Liberian crisis, Nigerians crowded into the Nigerian embassy in Monrovia. And the ambassador to Monrovia was telling them that they should remain calm, everything will be taken care, they will be lifted. Only for the ambassador to leave Monrovia and come back to Abuja when the Charles Taylor gang slaughtered Nigerians in the embassy. So if you are a Nigerian, you have a relative in South Africa, urge him to leave that country as soon as possible. He can always recover property later. And secondly, in the second issue, we also urge some of us have written already to the International Criminal Court to ensure that South Africa is removed from the countries which have petitioned Israel before the International Criminal Court with regards to the Gaza genocide. Because if the South African government is committing genocide against Africans in Africa, it has absolutely no business talking about genocide that was Israel committed against the Palestinians in Gaza. That is under the South African issue. Now, with regards to what you mentioned about the NDC, this government will find all kind of mechanisms, all scams, all schisms to ensure that the major opposition party against them, the NDC, crashes. And they will deploy funds This is the strategy. It's a criminal strategy, though, but that is what this Bola Tinubu regime will do. They will deploy funds. Even I wouldn't be surprised if even the closest friends of Mr. Peter Obi turns against him, and it's expected because that is their stock in trade. They have amassed so much billions. They have borrowed billions from the World Bank and everything, and they will use this not for altruistic purposes, but rather to achieve political aims. And so what we are seeing in the NDC is just a manifestation of what the Bola Tinubu regime will do to opposition parties. But Nigerians must remain steadfast because the whole idea is this. Once the fish rots from the top, if we're able to install an appropriate government at the very top, if we're able to remove this Bola Tinubu, this evil regime, all will become well.
Okay, but Barrister Eze Luche, before we start blaming the APC about the situation in the NDC, before now, there were issues. Barrister, especially since they conducted their primaries, there were issues like this of impositions, real winners of the primaries being replaced by certain persons who have money or influence. I mean, these issues were coming up. In Kano State, we even heard there was an agreement of 60-40 between Kwankwaso and the NDC. It also took the intervention of Mr. Peter Obi and Sirika Dixon because Kwankwaso was selecting persons, and some persons were aggrieved as to what they thought was going to happen. They said Kwankwaso was going beyond the agreement achieved. So why is it surprising to you to hear what is going on in Kano State with the previous reports, and how is this the fault of the APC?
I did not say I'm surprised. It's expected. Because when you give parties such a short time to form, when you have destroyed the previous opposition element, you have created room for crisis. That is what the APC has done. So I didn't say I was surprised. I'm saying that worse will happen. Even if they overcome this crisis, more crisis will ensue. So the reality is that Nigerians should just be aware of this and then move on, because the whole idea is get the presidency right. Because sadly, we have a system whereby virtually all powers in the country are vested in the person of the president. So all we should be focused on is who is the presidential candidate, and if we think that person is the right person, that is how it should be. I mean, what will happen? But we should not keep on debating about the internal politics of the NDC or the APC. The reason being that most of these people only moved into those parties because of the person of Peter Obi. And we have to be realistic. It's not as if they even have no manifesto. So we shouldn't be worried about the internal wranglings in this party. The reality is, yes, I mean, that's just the reality, the sad reality. But Nigerians, on the day of election for the presidential elections, we should be ready and ensure if this regime gets to that length, gets that far, and hopefully they won't get that far. But Nigerians should be ready to overcome whatever the excesses are. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister Eze Luche, for taking your time to, give us your perspective on some of these issues. The reaction, words, and basically that of Barrister Eze Luche, and not that of VOP 90.3 FM.
Yeah, they know where they can get me. They know my number. They know my place, so they're welcome. Thank you.
All right, Barrister Eze, God bless you, and thank you for your time. Okay, so we're going to take reactions now, ladies and gentlemen. Austin, please, can I have the phone? Thank you very much. 08036929933. 08036929933. That is the number to call. Now, the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756338. 0817-1756338. That is the number to call. All right. My first caller is from WhatsApp today. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Chibuzo. I'm calling from Ijegu. I'm a regular caller.
Chibuzo, you're our first time caller today. Ogene, you were just waiting. Good evening.
You don't name na Chibuzo.
Go ahead.
My own sir, I don't need to talk for this country. I just telling me to greet you people. You people are a good job. Because without you people, a lot of people cannot know what's going on for this country.
All right.
So that's my own suggestion. Goodbye, man.
All right, goodbye, Chibuzo. Thank you for calling. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. Hello.
I'm a first-time caller.
First time caller, welcome, Oga. Hey, wait, my bell is far from me. So thank you for calling in. Actually, how are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Are you on speaker?
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm not on speaker.
All right, go ahead.
Hello,
then.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your name though?
You see everything. The name is Guilty, and I'm calling from Mushe.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Now, the things happening in Nigeria is very obvious. The president has no business to doing the right thing. He has one focus, and that focus nobody can decline him from that direction. So everything happening in this country, it doesn't have any. It doesn't care about it. It doesn't care about anything. That's the issue, and it's so painful. Some people still support it to the end. They support it all the way. Nigeria, it's painful. Nigeria has become a horrible country. Nothing works, my sister. Nothing. We cannot point to one thing that works. Cannot point to one thing that works in this country, and that's the painful aspect. See the way the youths are going. See the way Nigeria is going. The best country in the world is Nigeria, but see the way things are going. It's painful. It's painful. I wake up every day. I am sad. I am very sad. The tax issue that is happening now, people are going to cry about it. If this man wins this next election, if he comes back as the president of this country, Nigerians are going to cry, because the tax that they are clamoring for us to pay will make people poorer and poorer, and it will make the country difficult to live in. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Okay, the tax situation is not meant to be bad. The problem is the timing it's coming. When you're not getting job opportunities, things are difficult, and you're imposing tax. And in some instances, the taxes are compulsory, and they're not getting income. It's not speaking well. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you, sir? Welcome.
This is Ifeanyi calling from Ejigbo.
Ifeanyi, where are you? There's a background noise. It's heavy.
Yeah, I'm on the road.
Okay, very quickly then.
Did I hear you say a minister in South Africa insult our president?
Yes, they did that. They did that. Wow. And even their citizens are insulting us, insulting our president on social media.
Oh, how low can this country get? Everything has gone upside down. The only thing that is remaining, if it's still remaining, is the power of the citizens. The day Nigeria wakes up, then we will take back our country. Otherwise, we will remain like this. Everything has gone wrong and low. We are the lowest point of history in this country. No lights, nothing, no road. They are just deceiving us that they are building infrastructure. Which infrastructure where people are hungry? God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. The problem I have is the lack of accountability. It's not good. No accountability, nothing. That's my issue. Just give an account for everything. Just let us know precisely what's up. That's all. You have your reasons for your policies. You have your reasons for your blueprint. You say you're resuscitating the economy. You're revamping. You're laying the foundation so that Nigeria will become okay. No problem. Just be transparent in the process. All of this going on in this administration is embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing. Hello, good evening. Please turn down the volume of your radio.
Yes, good evening, Esther.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome. Is this Shola? Hello?
Shola calling for my brother. Yes.
All right, Shola, welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Esther.
Sir?
Anyone that thinks Nigeria still commands respect from the Committee of Nations all over the world is delusional. It's just deceiving him or herself. Okay, now look at what you said the South African woman said.
Yes.
What about the things they say behind us at the back?
They don't say behind us, so go and read their tweets, those South Africans. Go and read their tweets.
Now, what I'm even saying is that this is the one you have heard. What about even what some other countries, apart from South Africa, Do you know that all these other Western countries, Esther, there's something I want to point out. Apart from Trump that came out to abuse us to our face, do you think all of them don't know? Don't they look down on us? They do. And that is why I just laugh when the Nigerian government will say that when they start accusing Nigerians that they are demarketing Nigeria. Who demarkets Nigeria more? Look at what is happening in this country now within the government circle. That the government, the presidency stinks to the high heaven. And that man better be on the run, because if they catch that man, they will silence him. I'm telling you, they want to cover up. So if this is what we call a government, and some people are still supporting, and you are hoping for a brighter and better Nigeria, is that not delusional? See, Nigerians, I'll keep saying it. It's in your hands. Awolowo said it. He said Nigerians will be the ones that will fight for themselves. 2027 will determine if Nigerians will be mumu for life. Thank you.
Thank you, Shola, for calling. Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, Esther.
How are you, sir? Welcome.
I'm fine. This is Sunday calling from Mushin.
Mr. Sunday from Mushin. How is Mushin today?
Mushin is fine. Thank God for the rain of the day.
Yeah, the rain made everywhere cool. Welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Esther, see, if one keep account neat, can he steal money? Esther.
I'm listening to you, sir.
If one is doing business and keep a proper account, can the money go away?
No.
By unknown?
You so monitor it.
Very good. So once you are doing business, you cannot keep account. It means there are stealing going on the ground. Take it or you leave it. So the government knew very well that they are dealing with Nigeria by stealing from Nigerians. That is why they cannot give account to Nigerians. So you can't expect the account.
Hello?
You can't expect the account from a stealer. It's not possible, because if he give you proper account, he will involve himself. So that is it. So you don't expect anything good account from this government. By doing so, they will be clean. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, we're supposed to expect accountability from the government, because whatever monies they use is our taxpayers' monies. I mean, if something is wrong, we shouldn't say that is how it is because institutions are polarized or porous and corruption has eaten into the very fabric and tendon of this nation. Vital institutions that are meant to be the foundation of our economy and our society, and whatever it is that is being set up to keep our infrastructure strong, or whatever policy engagement that are meant to facilitate proper governance, if there is a porosity that has torn thin the very fabric that is meant to keep us together, we're supposed to ask for accountability, or there should be a modicum of accountability. I mean, it's just necessary. There is no sentiment attached to it. I just wish it is well. Anyway, hello, good evening.
Hello, Esther, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
This is Mayor from Texas.
All right, Mayor, please go ahead.
Those your wishes may never come to pass under this government. That is what I just want to tell you. The present government, you know how the government came to be. You know what happened by 2023. Everybody, even a 3-year-old, if you ask a 3-year-old child, he will tell you. So all these things are happening, we knew. In fact, like the learned gentleman said, which I don't mind, but it says more are going to come out. More. Before the end of this quarter we are now, more of these revelations. These people are there, they are the same. So there's nothing good that can come out of this thing. If you remember an interview that Baba Ahmed, which was only made, granted in 2023 after the Buhari of that election, he said that we should not, that Nigeria should make sure that this current president should not be sworn in until every other, that if eventually sworn in, that will be the end of democracy. That is it. Other internals or this thing. That is it boldly. So if we are expecting anything good from this government, we are deceiving ourselves. More of this one is just a tip of the iceberg. This Adeyemi man, I'm sure 99% of such things are happening under this one, because there is no truth, there is deceit, there is everything about this Nigeria is on the negative. That is just the thing. So we should expect more of what South African people have. In fact, more is going to come, because the people in government have seriously demarcated this country and brought Nigeria to square zero. That is just the thing. So whatever, the only this thing we have now, Nigerians have now, that now is to wake up and fight to reclaim the country with the government by any means legitimate. Because if we continue on this trajectory and this man enters again, at 2 years, we might not have a country called Nigeria. But you tell me, God forbid. Well, it's not by God forbid, but this is a reality. Thank you. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Thank you so much. God bless you for calling. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. And the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Okay, I can't hear anything. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Esther. Good evening. This is the MB, the referendum advocate.
Sir?
You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
I said this is the MB, the referendum advocate. You are saying your problem is accountability. Who will do the accounting for you? APC. APC, having issue, the information of APC is just to subjugate good taste and Islamize Nigeria. At the dramatic case, which one can you say has no state in his cupboard? Maybe by the time some of us who are complaining that they are saying we heard this man don't like this, by the time some of us who believe in this government and thinking they have come to this, maybe it will be too late. That is the emptiness we are talking about in Nigeria. So let them thoroughly, if we recall that countries come and help us thoroughly investigate this monumental fraud, which I know is a fraud. No matter how the president want to cover it, this is the truth. The time maybe we jump into conclusion without hearing from the both sides. But I know the antecedent. This is for APC. Let God help us. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Like I said, this case was, Bayo Onanuga's response was too hurried, and now he has implicated the president that there is a possibility that most statements made by Bayo Onanuga or released by Bayo Onanuga may not exactly be a directive of the president. Bayo Onanuga may be using his office, possibly because he knows that anything he says will be taken to be coming from the president himself, because the president is now asking the ICPC to investigate this. So what was the initial written long whatever that Bayo Onanuga wrote when this scandal started, scattering up and down, the ceiling fan threw the sheet everywhere? What was that response for? So you now have people working for the president, perforating his government and exposing a sense of complete inadequacy. It's like people are just running stuff over him. I can't explain it. Makes no sense. Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, hello, good evening. I was saying good evening. You weren't responding. What's your name? Hello? Good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Ola from Berlin.
Ola from Berlin. I was saying hello. You weren't responding. Were you pounding yam in the kitchen?
How's everything? Yeah, we're fine. Esther, you're really doing a nice job, man. May that God continue to strengthen you.
Amen. We're all doing the work together.
See, Esther, when I call every time your program, sometimes my friends were like, why are you listening to the problem of Nigeria? Despite I'm not there, what affects Nigeria affects me. You know, last time I called, I was telling you about Sedality, about tax and whatever. See, Esther, just give me some few minutes. I live here in Berlin. The resources that we have, they don't even have here. But these people, they are utilizing the little that they have. And their citizens, they are seeing it. Even non-citizens, they are seeing it. Esther, see, we pay tax in Nigeria, but we don't do what's called tax refund. Yeah, if you pay tax at the end of the year, you do tax refund. If you overpay your tax, the government will refund you back the excess money you paid. Esther, do you know that if you have a job, you lose your job or something happened, you can stay home, they will be paying you because of the previous taxes you were paying when you were working. I don't know if you understand. Esther, when I call every time, I have a stake in Nigeria economy. I have a big farm. You understand? Do you know that last month I laid off 6 workers? Last month I laid off 6 workers. You know why? Why did I lay them off? Esther, how much am I gaining from the business? That I'm even paying sometimes my workers from my own money, my own sweat here from Germany. I'm using to pay them. Nothing is coming out. You know why? The feed for my pigs have increased triple. I have to pay for those things. No effort, everything increased. Running the farm is I don't know how to say it. So we are not making anything from it. I have to list as 6 workers. Do you know the painful part of it? One of the workers called me yesterday.
Wow.
The daughter was in the hospital. They have no money to pay for the hospital bill. I have to pay because she have nothing she can do. But yes, if you work, you have what we call insurance, hospital insurance card. You go to the hospital, they take off your medical bills. Esther, see, Nigeria, just like what the last caller said, we have to wake up and take that country. If we don't wake up, Esther, these demons will keep just damaging that country. Look at Ahmadu Sharif coming out saying Peter Obi saying all sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
You were Boko Haram. You are coming out to instigate things against Peter Obi. You that from Boko Haram. Esther, see, I'm crying every day, to be sincere. When I watch the news coming out from that country, I'm shedding tears every day. Esther, do you know that in 2016 in Austria, sorry, I'm taking your time, in Austria, they did a coalition government. There was a guy, he was always against the immigrants, and there was a guy that was just a liberal guy, so they formed a coalition government. What happened? The guy that was against immigrants, the video surfaced, the guy was soliciting vote from Russia. So, do you know that day, because it's against the constitution, that guy have to resign.
Wow.
People march to the capital, say that guy must resign. That guy resigned that day. Just look at what is happening with Femina. Nobody's asking him to resign. We are using it to do cruise online. Esther, see, they don't build new hospital. They don't build new school. You know what happened? I was seeing one guy recently was making a video. Peter Obi should come and show the hospital he built when he ruled Anambra for 8 years. He should come and show the school he built. Esther, you go to hospital here in Berlin, you see those hospitals were built 1980 something. You know what they are doing? They are doing renovations. They are buying new equipment. You won't see hospital that was built 2020 here in Deutschland. You won't see anyone. They were built 18 something, 18, not even 19, 18 something. What happened? They are maintaining those hospitals. They are buying equipment. That's what Peter Obi did. They will tell you they want to build an hospital. They will siphon your money. We have to have maintenance culture. Esther, do you know how much Deutschland they are putting in cleaning maintenance here in their country? People are employed. You see many people they are in Europe. They'll tell you I'm doing cleaning. You say they do cleaning for abroad, but you know how much that person is collecting. We have to take this country. Nobody will help us. We have to help ourselves. I know some people say you are calling from Europe. You are living in. But Esther, like I said, I have a stake. I have investment in Nigeria. I know how much I'm investing in Nigeria every month. But what's happening? I'm not getting return anymore. People that are employed, I have how many people working with me that are employed. Imagine now, I'm laying some of them off because why? The economy of the country is killing me.
It's killing it. People's businesses are suffering.
We have to wake up. No, this is internet session we are doing. Everybody is becoming online warrior. We have to stand up for our country. We should stop using this internet. Everybody want to be an overnight internet sensation. Come on Facebook, do video, do this. No, the youth have to wake up. They have to wake up. Look at what President Wife said. People should go and be frying akara. People took it as cruise. It's not cruise. Esther, this is beyond cruise. This is beyond cruise. Esther, I'll let other people to talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ola. Thank you. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, Esther. Good evening, Esther.
UC, welcome.
Esther, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm okay. A cool weather.
Yes, so weather is so cold, though. Hey, cold.
Very cold and cloudy.
Company is needed in this kind of weather. You see. Welcome. Go ahead.
Esther.
Yes.
My teacher taught me, Jonathan Lodsa Karaba. He said, you cannot act selfishly and win the respect of others. It's not possible. Esther, the only thing that has kept Nigerians down is the failure of leadership. Now, it didn't start from President Mohammed Tinubu. It started from the first day of our independence in Zimbabwe. Esther, go and track back all the leaders we've had in this country. I think I can only take two among the rest. I stand in Yaradua and Jonathan, to some extent. To some extent. Not to a large extent, to some extent. Esther, now when leadership fails in selfishness, listen to me, Esther, economic will be a ground. Development will be a ground. There will be no peace. There will be riots. There will be destruction everywhere. There will be completely disorganization. Esther, where would that respect come from? Esther, a country that does not produce value, who will respect you among the international community? Esther, I was taught again by a teacher. He said, respect is not given, respect is earned. So how do we get the respect when we come before communities of nations with no value? When they list Nigeria, when they call Nigeria, Nigeria will be cited from an image of impoverished country. Yes, from an image of where things doesn't work, from an image where things are disorganized. Esther, have you asked yourself, the country like United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, what do they produce? They don't produce much value, but they produce organization, they reduce poverty, they're taking care of their citizens and their countries. Now, if a Saudians apply for visa to the US, they give them because they know they have value. They know they come from an organized place. So they don't have any reason to disrespect them. Esther, we have two kinds of migration. It's either a citizen is migrating to another country for economic benefits or economic cost, or you are migrating because not that your place is bad. You just want to live out a life outside your place. Now, the kind of migration Nigerians are doing, 80% of it is for economic reason, not necessarily because we want to go and spend time outside. No. Americans can go to Mexico and stay and work. Not because America is not wealthy or is not good. No. They are going there because they want to live life outside America. Esther, we have migration scattered all over the world. And the countries that are hosting these our migrants, they know that we are coming from an impoverished place. We are not part of technology. We are not part of science. We are not part of agriculture. We are not part of industrialization. We are not exporting anything valuable from human resources. Therefore, they will respect us. When we go to community of country, we beg. We are a begging country. We are like a slave in the modern era, in this modern world. So where would that respect come from? Where would that respect come from, Esther? So if they insult us, listen to me, Esther. Are you aware South Africa is the only African state that has hosted World Cup? No country has done that again in Africa. Now, Morocco is going to be the next, combining with other countries in Europe. Esther, if a Moroccan citizen applies for a visa anywhere in the world, they don't treat them with respect or disdain. They treat them with honor and regard. South Africa will claim some of them during the apartheid struggle. Today, South Africa is the most beautiful place in the whole of Africa, the most technology powerful country in the whole of Africa. And I speak to you, most American big tech companies, they're in South Africa, they're operating. More are still going there, developing South Africa technologically. Now, in fact, the name Elon Musk, when you call Elon Musk, you remember South Africa to some extent because why? He has a background that is connected to that food. So how would you disrespect a citizen of that country? They don't deny their visa anywhere in the world. So when they insult us, we deserve the insults. Now, when the leader fails in greed and selfishness, insult will come from the place. It will come from within. It will also come from overseas. Esther, respect is not given, respect is earned. Have a great day. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, you see, for calling. And I would actually implore us Nigerians. I think I've always said it that it's very important for us to put a united front. You know, they've used the division because if you go on social media and you see the divisive statement we make against each other, they use it to yab. They use it to yab also. They say we they buy ourselves, we they hate ourselves, and we're calling them out. You know, like you need to see their comments. It's not funny actually, but I mean, of what face do you want to use to defend yourself or call them out when we are not together, when we are not united? You know, we like to pull ourselves down, and we do that on a public fora. It doesn't make sense. To be honest with you, it doesn't make sense. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, hello Esther, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good. This is Prince Okenna from London.
Mr. Prince Okenna, is this your first time?
So no. This is about the third time I'm speaking.
All right, Mr. Prince, welcome to the program. Please go ahead, sir. How is London today?
Yeah, even though your voice is very faint, I'm struggling to hear you, but I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Esther, my point I want to make here, you just said a part of it, it borders on accountability.
Yeah.
The problem we're struggling with and dealing with in Nigeria is lack of accountability. Nobody can be held accountable for anything. That is why everybody seems to have a suggestion or what to say or what to point every other person, correct every other person. You know, look at someone like Alimodi Sheriff. After being one of the major source of the problem that Nigeria is dealing with for over how many years now, is coming now to give us advice and telling us, you know, giving us advice and giving us facts that are not true.
I don't even know why that platform invited him, actually.
Have jumped to 20 political parties, which he knows is not true. But because these are people that they are not prevented by morals, they are not prevented by schools of conscience. They feel their conscience, and that is why they keep doing all this, because nobody can be held accountable for anything. Look at the situation with the agency that they said is a purported fake agency. There is a process to forming an agency, which every one of us know. It involves, even apart from, let me even leave the one of forming the agency. To make someone a DG, there is a process that involves security clearance. Who cleared the DG? Who cleared the DG during the screening? During the budget presentation, how many people who were those people that were in that committee that presented the budget and they defended it and then screened those people? So it's a whole lot of things that because nobody can be held accountable for anything. That's why, you know, they do all these things and they feel after maybe 2 weeks now it will be swept under the carpet. You know, that's not right. It's not good. The way even the foreign personnel that came and had interaction, the delegations that came from all over the world to meet with the guy, who gave them clearance at the immigration point? Because definitely they will ask you, where are you going?
Do you understand?
Abroad, you understand? So we know things. We know the security clearance will go through when we get to the immigration. They will ask you, where are you going? Who are you going to meet? How long are you going to stay? So who asked those questions? Who gave the clearance for all those things? So, the people from the presidency, what's his name? The spokesperson of the president,
Mr. Bayo,
hastily to make comments, and then the other people coming to arrest the young man's father. That's not the way to go. We should be accountable. We should tell ourselves the truth.
Exactly.
By now, I expected that a lot of people should have resigned, but people are still occupying their offices. You know, that's just what I wanted to say, Esther.
All right, thank you very much.
I just believe that in this way, I will be around for the election. I will
really?
I will be
Please
around.
come to the studio. Come to the studio. Let's have conversations.
I'll make sure our vote count.
All right.
You know, because this nonsense has to change.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. For example, I remember asking a question that the SGF, nobody is asking what the role of the SGF here is. If that is his role to give appointments. In this whole thing, the SGF is quiet. So what is his role? Is he just a sitting duck? It is well. And then I remember that of Alimodi Sheriff. The anchor asked him that you have never come out to call out the terrorists, the Fulani ethnic militia that have killed people, beheaded communities, raised down communities. And does it mean that you are also a terrorist or you support terrorism? And Alimodi Sheriff said, that's a different scenario altogether because I am not running for president. These people, then go blow your head. Like, you guys get some kind immunity to absorb some things. But lie. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, ma.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Mr. Elias.
Mr. Elias, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ajao.
All right, Mr. Elias, kindly turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it off completely.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but there is an echo at the background.
I have off it.
All right, Mr. Elias. Welcome to the conversation this evening. Please go ahead.
This is my first time of calling your station.
Oh, okay. You know what? Please wait. The bell is far from me. I need to.
No, don't worry. I appreciate even from. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mr. Elias.
It's not easy to get you, but I came into Lagos. I'm from the north. I came into Lagos like 2 years ago, and I just get interested in your station. And
Mr. Elias, what part of the north? What state in the north?
Yola, Adamawa State.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So all these things that you people have been talking about, we have been part of it, we have seen it, but we just been praying that God will have mercy upon this country. Talking about the political brouhaha that is going on, honestly speaking, sometimes we just look at the future of this country. Where are we heading to? God has blessed us with all the natural resources, have blessed us with things that we're supposed to live very comfortable. But I don't know whether God has not given us leaders. That is one of our major challenge. If we have one good leader for 4 years, the fortune of this country will turn. And that should be our focus in 2027. We can do it prayerfully, and we have to take responsibility, take action by ensuring that we vote for the right person. And then we'll be calling on the institution to do their own bit. What happened in 2003 should not be allowed to happen again in 2007. Let the voices of the masses be heard clearly by everybody, including the government by themselves. And I'm telling you, we are heading towards the right direction. So keep doing the good work. I've been, sometimes I go on the YouTube to watch you and Dariton and some other guests.
Yeah.
You guys should continue doing the good job.
Mr.
And I'm really
Elias,
happy to connect you today.
thank you so much. I'm actually happy that you were able to get through.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for
very
calling,
much.
sir. Enjoy your evening, okay? And I think somebody sent a message on YouTube. Okay, at O'Shea Murphy. Is it O'Shea Murphy 147? Send a message to me on WhatsApp. I'll give it to you. Send a message to me on WhatsApp, okay? Thank you. Hello, good evening.
What I'm trying to say is that
Hello?
if a house is built on a ground that is not solid, the house is bound to collapse.
Sir, what is your name?
Nigeria is built on a ground that is not solid. Our constitution is not working. There is nobody who is going to save us, not from here, not from Nigeria, not from foreign land, not from anywhere. We are going to save ourselves. And since we are not ready to die, that is why the country is remaining like that. We have to come out en masse. We have to protest. We have to hold down every ministry in that country, and we have to chase them away, because they cannot hold down 250 or 230 million people on ransom. So we have to come out and fight these people out and rebuild our country. If we don't do that, we are not going anywhere. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Obviously, you called on WhatsApp, so you can't hear my questions. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Anwatiko. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name, please?
My name is Chris from Lagos. I'm so happy I'm able to get you.
Mr. Chris from Lagos. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, this issue, this South African...
Mr. Chris, can you turn down the volume of your radio?
No, I don't have radio.
Okay, there's a feedback, like something bouncing back. But continue, though.
Okay, this derogatory comment these South Africans are making. I expect our government to, do something, say something. This is so bad. This is so bad. Calling him drug lord and nothing. That means it's true. That means it's true. So coming to the man that have a ministry that is not registered.
Yes.
I just want us to know that it is not possible for somebody to wake up, have a ministry, and then start collecting money from government as if Nigerians doesn't, we don't have people. There is more to this. And I like the way the man is handling it. They have invited him, he said he's not coming. that he will appear in court.
Yeah.
Yes, he said he will appear in
Do you even know that the Senate is denying that they received any petition on the controversy? They are denying that they did not get any petition on that controversy.
I'm telling you. Listen, I don't know how I don't know if Nigerians are really concerned about this. But
Listen, they pain me. Oh, it's annoying.
I want this case to be taken outside this country. I don't. Which court are you going? Is it the court that is owned by them?
No. My issue is that for once, the president should take a decisive action on this. I don't care who gets affected by this. Let's just see that sense of this cannot be tolerated in your government. That's all. Just use this one. And convince Nigerians that you're not tolerating this nonsense. This is absolute nonsense.
They are going to they're going to manipulate everything. 210 trillion was missing. What has been done about it? They are going to just see if that guy come out. I'm sure they will kill him.
You know, the excuse for the 210 trillion is that it wasn't under Tinubu's government, 2017 to 2023, when he just assumed office. That's their excuse, so that you can't be holding the president to that. But this particular situation, where due protocol was not observed, and it indicts all the agencies in that executive, from the National Assembly to the presidency, to the chief of staff, to the spokespersons, to the DSS, to the Minister of Justice, to the NIA, to the EFCC. Like, you don't even understand the veracity of this situation. Even the financial institution like the CBN, you can just come and distance yourself from it now. There is a code. Continue, Sha. Continue. Oh, in fact, I don't know. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Esther.
How are you? Welcome.
I'm fine. Wabweze from Oshoki.
Wabweze, thank you for calling in today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. To start with, the issue of President Adeyemi, Nigeria should escalate that issue and not relent until the truth is finally revealed. And we should warn the government that the man's life is in their hands. Anything that happens to him, Nigerians will take it up. Let them know that everybody is watching. The international community should be escalated. That is on this one. And we use this opportunity to beg institutions that are saddled with the responsibility of conducting good and credible elections. The military, the police, even the INEC staff, other agencies, please individually, let them take it upon themselves as the assignment given to every one of us to see that we have credible election where the choice of the masses will be respected. Only then we can get the good government. What we're having now, and who are planning to come back, there are a bunch of people who doesn't have our interests at heart at all. Starting from the presidency, the houses of assembly, both the federal, they need total cleanup. And it's only the citizens that will do it. All of them, no matter the party they belong, they are now. They are best of the same father. They should not be given any chance to come back and destroy this nation the more. We have suffered enough. Look at what that man from Asa told you. He retrenched 6 people from his office, from his workplace. That is it not a burden to the families of those people?
He's not the only person. There's somebody that owns a gas plant.
They're not collecting anything at all. Please let me not forget. Somebody like Malambelo, I've not been hearing from him in this station.
I called for him yesterday. I don't know what's going on. No.
Please, if he's not around, let him communicate. I enjoy his contribution.
All right. Thank you so much, Mabisi, for calling in. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name?
Patrick is calling from Okota.
Patrick from Okota. Can you turn down the volume of your radio?
I've done that already, my dear.
All right, sir. Welcome. Please go ahead.
Oh, yes. I don't know when we're ever going to stop talking about the complaints from the leadership of this country as far as since APC came on board, taking over the mantle of leadership in this country. It is quite unfortunate that the personality of Sheriff, what do you call him now, the one who said Obi is trying to divide Nigeria.
Yeah.
By this time, is somebody we should be talking of, referring to him as a statesman. But look at the statement that is coming from him. The same Borno state that is coming from, there is a flag mounted there which bears the name of
Islamic State of West Africa province. They have not said anything about it. About 14 local government areas are controlled by the terrorists in Islam Borno State, where they are collecting taxes. And he has said nothing about it. But he is making a reference to a fellow citizen that the North will not vote for Obi. How did he appear to be representing the entire North in his own belief? And who is he as a single individual to stand and speak to a fellow citizen as if he is more qualified or the North is more Nigerian than the rest of Nigerians? And that is why when foreigners are referring to all that, we are not together. These are the sentiments that are playing out here. I am not happy with the statement from this man. It is very unfortunate that even the list that was sent from a foreign country to Nigeria.
Yes, UAE.
These are the people that are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. He has said nothing about it, of which maybe his own name is in that list. He has said nothing. How many Japanese are killed here who are Nigerians? He has said nothing. But somebody just simply said, let the president resign. Esther, let me ask you, if Tinubu should resign today, will the war not be again? When Tinubu was not the president of Nigeria, will there no Nigeria? And if no longer the president of Nigeria, will there not be Nigeria anymore? I mean, we should call the bluff of these people. Enough is enough. Don't like my brother Darlington said that this morning or yesterday. We have overpowered these people from the North. And then they're overriding us thinking that they are their own country. They don't own the country. We own this country in equal terms. And so everybody has the right to aspire to be to the highest level. So they look at the scandal that is going on now. One scandal after another, since PC came to become the leadership, to take over the leadership of this country. What have we not gone through? Right from the days of the late Muhammad Buhari up to now, the sitting president, we have never found our feet. The scandal here, scandal there. And they're still trying to think that they will still cow us again next year election. And then we will go with them. If this is the way they want to go with it, then they should prepare that maybe Nigeria will end next year. And everybody will go to their father's house. Thank you and good night.
Thank you so much, sir, for calling. Hello, good evening.
As our people in South Africa face these challenges, because the South African government are supporting this criminal. They are. The evidence are there. And sadly, Tinubu has not been able to use his diplomatic power. Oshiomhole and some Senate members have been speaking. But my appeal to them, they are encouraging us to stop patronizing South African government. Many of our senators patronize South African girls. Let them stop following South African girls too. If they do, we can teach them lessons that what South Africans are doing to us, if we have responsible governments, all this nonsense will not continue. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I didn't hear Remy from the beginning, so I can't tell how his reaction was. Hello, good evening.
Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. This
How are you? Welcome, sir.
Calling from Ojo.
Turn down the volume of your radio, sir.
Okay. I wanted to know that Nigeria...
Sir, you haven't turned down the volume of your radio. Turn it off completely. Hello?
I want to know that Nigeria is finished. With this man in power, Nigeria is finished. There's nothing remaining in Nigeria. They have planned and prepared how to win the election next year. And I doubt if there's going to be anything to stop them. They want to do anything possible to remain in power. Look at the kind of scandals, corruption. They want to cover it. They don't want anybody to expose them. They want to remain in power by all means. And I don't know what we are going to do, except for God to just show us mercy. Nigeria is finished, completely finished. Nigeria is Paris, according to the Yoruba man. Nigeria is finished. It's only God that will deliver this country. Thank you for the wonderful job we are doing. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you for calling. It's time for me to take your messages this evening. I'll take this call and then start taking the messages. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Esther Nwachukwu.
How are you, sir? Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
If I've left the position of that radio.
All right, sir. Where are you calling from? What's your name, sir?
This is Haniboro Friday calling from Iba.
All right, sir. Go ahead, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, the truth is that people keep on telling us we should come out, we should come out. I think the grace Tinubu is enjoying today is as a result of the Labour president of the country who is not active. You can remember how Shomole became the governor of Edo State. It's by what he did as a Labour president. If the anger in the mind of Nigeria is to be expressed today, even tomorrow morning, it will be as a result of the command of the Labour president. But the man is just dumb mad. I don't know how to put it. Every time I listen to your radio, I am angry. If in fact, if that type of a man should sit on his fruit, what I will do will not be okay. The man should act without his office, Labour president of the country. We have over 20 reasons for Nigeria to come out for protest. But the man is just there. What is he doing? If he knows the type of job the Labour president is going to face and he's not capable, why did he accept to take that position? They should ask that man, Ajuero, the man from Ebonyi State. He is the one giving Tinubu this privilege. If that man is acting like Oshomole, Tinubu will have been out of this country. I tell you the truth. Nigerians are willing to come out, but there is no commander. And the commander we have is the Labour president of the country. Is it the first subsidy they said it's gone? Is it the cost of living in the market? So over 20 reasons for us to come out. But the Labour president is just a dumbass. Nigerians are not happy. If by 2027 Tinubu continue in power, in fact, that man, they should look for him. Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you very much. All right, let's take your messages this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Esther. I greet your guest. Esther, I am not too surprised for this current government. I know Tinubu very well. It can never do more than this. It's full of corruption everywhere he goes. I am Momo Ayodele. Okay, good evening, Esther. I want to know, why is it difficult for Femi Gbajabiamila to resign or step aside to clear his name? Do you know that the old national anthem was sung today during the FEC meeting? Esther, where is Mr. Peter Osifo from Abarajay and his likes of APC supporters? Kenneth Inweji from NNPC. Well, yes, we saw that. We saw that. And the presidency decided to come give us a reason for that. So somebody said it's like the DJ forgot to. Oh my God! Nigerians, you guys don't have joy. I swear, you are not giving Oga President a breathing space. Good evening, Esther. Have this in mind: whoever that sends his boys to go and steal is also a thief. That's the reason Suarez writes by calling the president what he did. Okay. All right, what's your name? Please be putting your name when you send some messages. It's very important. Good evening, Esther Nwachukwu and your guests in the studio. Esther, we citizens, both the rulers, are living together in bondage like Kenneth Okonkwo acted a movie. South Africans are deporting Nigerians from their country, collecting back all our properties in their country, killing and falsely intimidating Nigerians right over there. My own take is to shut down all their businesses in Nigeria as payback. Remy from Ejibo, Lagos. Do you know the funny thing? We rely so much on South African businesses here. To be honest with you, they literally are in charge of our telcos. Although they will say Nigerians are also integrated and have a major share. If only Nigerians can have 100% ownership of telecommunications and handle it well, because we saw what happened with 9Mobile. Became a disaster when Nigeria decided to buy off majority of the shares. We saw what happened, right? So if Nigerians can take over these things and handle it well, you have quality connection, not like what we're having with our electricity when it became privatized. I don't know if you get my drift. And I think that'll be important. Or even Nitel. You saw how Nitel just went off. Immediately, telecommunication became privatized. So most of these institutions, once you leave it for Nigerians to handle, it becomes dilapidated, becomes very poor. It's a major problem. I'm not lying to you. All right. Good evening, Esther. We are in a global world, so countries see and know how our rulers behave. Please, Esther, I think we should start now to find solutions to this mess so it can stop now. INEC and judiciary should be the ones to bring us out from this insane situation. How? INEC should register candidates with credible credentials who do not have any case in court, and judiciary should give us credible judgment, please. All right. Nigeria is quick to forget. Lekki Toll Gate has been forgotten. Nigeria should know that as long as Tinubu is concerned, only talking cannot save us from APC's bondage. From Blessed Berebuchi. All right, good evening, Esther and all VOP family. It's really unfortunate that National Assembly and House of Rep, which are being paid with our hard-earned tax money, can under their watch see things go out of hand, yet nobody has been impeached, nobody has been sacked, and nobody has been forced to resign. This is very sad. As for South Africans, I don't blame them. If not for the bad governance in Nigeria, who are they to speak when a Nigerian speaks? This is gift from Abulegba. Okay, so this person says, good evening, Esther. I don't know why you're disturbing yourself. Do you think Tinubu doesn't know what is going on or his hands are in it? Okay, what is your name? Esther, good evening. What a shame. South Africans calling the giant of Africa president names. How can anyone from presidency or Senate confront the South African when they have sold their integrity to the South African leaders, telling them to put taxes on MTN and DSTV users? It's unfortunate. More insult on the way. Sammy text from Additional Surulere, Lagos. Okay, Mafia Shari. All right. Okay. Let me send it to you very quickly. Whoa. All right. Hold on, please. Yeah, let me send it now before I get over other messages. All right. Good evening, Esther and all VOP family. Oh, okay. I think I've read this message. Splendid evening, Esther. Awesome job you're doing. To be honest with you, this government, especially this administration, has taken us 50 years backward. We've lost our respect in the Committee of Nations. Nigeria has never been this corrupt. Every nation in the world doesn't want to associate with us as a people just because this set of politicians have smeared our country. Nigeria must rise up and take back their country come 2027. God bless Nigeria. Edozeddin Naji. All right. Okay. Good evening, Esther. There is a saying that anyone that is above one's power cannot be handled. One should leave such person to God to handle and to do justice. So I would like to ask the barrister what else Nigerians need to do after the Supreme Court has delivered her judgment. Is it not the same country that people have been arrested for either carrying out peaceful protests or otherwise, social media, and prosecuted for performing their civic responsibility, which had been impeded in the country's constitution? Or have we not heard of protesters that are expressing their displeasure through peaceful protests and were arrested and till date have not been released? Please, I want the barrister to tell Nigerians how to go about expressing their grievances to the government. God bless Nigeria. Timitokwe Onatoye from Ijagemo community. Good evening, Esther. The government of APC has mesmerized this country. Is that what you intend to write? No accountability, no respect for the citizens, no value for the people, and we expect respect from other countries around us. No, they will insult us to our face even much more because the government do not value its citizens. All right, VOP, please listen to the true revelation about the person of Ali Modu Sharif, former governor of Borno State. All right, thank you. We'll listen to that after the program. Good evening, Esther. I don't know why my calls can be picked for some years now. My take: if a minister from South Africa and South Africans can call our president names and no action is taken, that means we're finished. Look at what is happening in the National Assembly, the judiciary, and the executive. We Nigerians have to wake up and take back our country. Thanks for the good work VOP is doing. God bless you all. Ngozi Ahautu from Ijegui, Kotun, Lagos. Good evening, Esther. and your guest today. Thank you for good job. On the numerous issues bedeviling Nigeria as a country today, I have taken my time to narrow it down into three folds. The presidency and the political elites are taking with the masses for granted because they have seen that we talk and no action, just like a toothless bulldog. Hence, they continue to get away with every more practice and malfunction that they throw at us. Talking about South Africans and their government talking down on us as a country shouldn't be surprising to us when we the masses openly allow crooks and persons with questionable character to be at the head of our affairs. What do we expect from the outside world if they are killing us or treating us unjustly in other parts of the world? And we Nigerians are our own problem. We're not good and lack integrity individually, and it's from us that we get the leaders. So what do we really expect? Thank you for your good work. Have a good night rest. I'm Abraham from Mafoluku. Esther, good evening. God bless you. I just want to tell Nigerians to take their country by themselves come 2023. Amechi from Iyanupaja. Esther, good evening. I want to ask, can you compare the time of PDP's economic boom? Nigeria was #1 in economy. Check the living wages, price of commodity. Nigerians were living decently with middle class, building houses, living fine. But from APC's nightmare government came into power from 2015 till now, you are #4 in Africa. All this is due to insecurity, removal of subsidy, obnoxious policies that has made 7.2 million private public SMEs shut down, turning the people to beggars and a marjorie in the midst of plenty. Quite a lengthy message here. Lekon from Lagos. Lekon, thank you so much for your message. Esther, hello Esther, I am Face Lagos from Abaraja Ikotu. I disagree with your guest by saying our lifespan is 45 to 47 years because I'm 40 now and my dad is 65 years, healthy and sound. I never started life, so how will my lifespan be 47? Please, all those judges are reaping what they sowed, just as those that did same to MNK, like my namesake Ifanyuba. Those that betrayed us all as Nigerians will never see the promised land, and that better Nigeria's dreams. Okay. Esther Wachuku, the day Bola Tinubu was declared as president, he took Femi Gbaja as chief of staff, and that was the day I knew that Nigeria is finished. These two people, Nuri Ribadu mentioned 5 governors that are corrupt, and Tinubu is part of them. Mr. Adeyemi Matthew, current fraud is planned from the presidency. The man has already paid 400 million naira, so it's a very serious business. It's not only Adeyemi that's involved. Adekunle from Surulere. Good evening, Esther and VOP family. I'm not surprised by what is happening now. If anyone is surprised, that means the person never followed Tinubu's politics very well since 1999. The truth is that a leopard can never change their skin, and it's unfortunate that Nigeria has been used to pretending. Maybe Nigerians will now start getting understanding of how the loan and fuel subsidy are going. Amici from Mafoluku. Alrighty. Obed Oji says, yes, analyst Ezra, let all Nigerians leave that murderous country called South Africa. They are ingrates. I was live at University of Lagos in March 1990 when Nelson Mandela, may his soul continue to rest in peace, visited to thank Nigerians for the role we played for their emancipation from the hands of the apartheid white people. Musicians such as Sonny Okoso, may his soul continue to rest in peace, mandators, etc. were very much involved in their liberation. Too bad, quite unfortunate. May God Almighty have mercy. Good evening, Esther and your analyst. I believe when a man fails in his responsibility towards his household, his children will look for solace in the arm of a stranger. That is a true reflection of what is happening in South Africa today. I weep for my dear country. I'm Surveyor Frederick Maduka from Yaba. Good evening, Esther. God bless and replenish your strength. The system is corrupt and we have little or nothing to do about it. Let us go our separate ways. We can't be united in a corrupt system like this. From Ahekwe Eze in Nureni Ejigbo. Good evening, Esther. The present government is very keen on the electoral victory next year without taking the interests of the citizens and their general well-being into deep considerations. Insecurity, menace, and high cost of living is still unabated. Noah from Igondo. Good evening, Esther. This is Triple A from Ojo. Esther, help me advise the management of VOP to thread softly. I believe every one of them remembered what AIT was doing those days and what nearly happened to them aftermath. All these lawyers always critiquing from the darkness will not be those who will receive the sledgehammer when the chips are down. A word is always enough for the wise. Triple A, is that something that you know? This sounds like a subtle threat, like we shouldn't talk or say things as they are. All these things are in the news. Just open your several news outlets. You will see it now. Are we saying anything out of what is in the news? It is well. Good evening, Esther Wachuku and Barrister. The way things are going in this country, I am not happy. May God save us. Thanks, Tony Onwudinjo from Ikotu. Onwudinjo from Ikotu. Okay. I think I understand the meaning of your name. Good evening, Miss Esther. Do you think that the scripture that said righteousness exalts a nation is a lie? This is what we will keep seeing as a country. And the worst part of it, the so-called men of God keep modifying more evil, even in the churches and home. No more good in our society. And what to the person that called evil good? From Richard. Good evening, Esther, and your guest. Esther, why are you so worried about the stooges of the president, including Bio? They can only sing the tune of their paymaster. Don't forget we had people like this in the past government, but today they are now saints. The president should answer for these maladies because the buck stops at his desk. While I appreciate you for putting your guest on the line about our nascent democracy, which has allowed us to express ourselves, I still want us to wait for the outcome of the investigation order by the president. They will not quickly exonerate themselves. On the xenophobic attack, the Nigerian government should do tit for tat, at least to tell SA government that we're not docile. Thanks, Yemi from Songota. Good evening, Esther, and your guest. On the fake agency, there's a big elephant in the room, which I believe the president is trying to cover up. Online chief from Ayobom. I just heard that the president has ordered ICPC to investigate this fake agency. Yes, John. Yes. He says this will be the end of this saga. Nothing will happen to Bajabi Amila. John from Ijaniki. Wow. Good evening, Esther, your guest, Barrister Ezra Richard. I quite agree with the barrister that what Nigerians are seeing is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay. Steve Ikedu says, Esther, if there's anything this government has done right, it's the incarceration of Malam El Rufai. Nemesis has caught up with him. Let him taste a little of what he dished out to people while in power. Serves him right. QED. Steve Ikedu from Maryland. Esther, what that man just said now was the truth and nothing but the truth. This is Smart from Orile. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. I've taken about 2 minutes off my colleague, Adiola. We're going